YouTube. Today's video I want to talk about conspiracies, conspiring against things, and things of that nature. Now, first things first, people want to know, what is a conspiracy? A conspiracy is when a group of men come together and sit at a table and conspire against something. You feel me? So, people always talk about 9/11 and stuff like this. Now, first things first, with the 9/11 thing as a conspiracy, that was conspired by a group of men who sat at a table to think about blowing up the World Trade Center. Now, everybody should know who Biggie Smalls is, and Tupac, or Tupac and Biggie. Now, in his song, Juicy, I think it was Juicy, it came out 1997, mark my words, 1997. He said, blow up like the World Trade. Hold on. Can you hit rewind, Joe, please? Okay. Biggie said, in his song, Juicy, 1997, blow up like the World Trade. That didn't happen, what, 5-6 years later? Maybe 4? I'm not trying to count right now. Happened in 2001. How he know, if it was 1997, how he know the World Trade Center was going to blow up? How did he know? Somebody please tell me that, how he know. Spiritual, or did he sell his soul? Because you know, when people sell their soul, they actually do sell their soul to get what they want, really. When people sell their soul, they sell their soul and they get traded a little bit of information. Real talk. That's why Jay-Z got knowledge of self, but at the same time, it ain't about hating on Jay-Z and all that type of stuff, because Jay-Z grew up in New York. He grew up around Dr. York. That's how he know about knowledge of self. That's why, like, if you watch that Breakfast Club interview with J. Cole, and they was asking him, like, why you, like, every time you finna release an album, why you always got your hair grown out? Why you always in your natural state? He said, because Jay-Z do it. He said, because, well, he didn't say it like that. He just said, because Jay-Z do it. Why does Jay-Z grow his hair out? And J. Cole, why do they grow their hair out every time they finna release an album? Because their antennas are growing. They open to all different energy frequencies, different ideas, new ideas. I'm growing my hair out. I'm getting dreads, yes. I'm getting dreads. Not to be on no thug stuff, no Chief Keef type of stuff, no sicko mob, none of that. Dreads is a natural hairstyle. It really is. Real talk. Look at Rastafari or Rastafarian. Go look it up. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just talking about conspiracies and all these other things people probably didn't know or people probably overlooked. Okay, what about that Johnny Bravo episode? If you looked in the back on the poster, it had a plane crashing into the Twin Towers. On Johnny Bravo, I think the episode came out like 1997. What the hell? So we got two things that happened in 1997, or it was in the 1990s, I know that for a fact, that Johnny Bravo episode. But that Juicy Fruit, or Juicy song by Biggie was 1997. I was listening to it on Parent Door. He said, blow up like the World Trade. Hold on, can we go back? What is a conspiracy? A group of people coming together to conspire against something. People always want to talk about conspiracy theories and what's real and what's fake. First of all, you shouldn't be worried about what's real and what's fake. You should be worried about what you're doing. You should be worried about getting your body right. You should be worried about getting back in tune with nature. You should be worried about getting your vibration up. Matter of fact, you should be worried about this new blood moon that's coming up. It's a blood moon coming up, and you can get anything you want, manifestation, thought alone. But I prefer you, if you're not used to it by now, like just manifesting things by thought, you should write your thoughts down. And do it like I do it. Repeat it 13 times. And keep doing it. Like 4 sequences, like, so, like, say, like, I say, like, for example, like, I want my art to go viral or something like that. Let's just say that I say that for the blood moon, right? I will say that 13 times. I want my art to go viral. I will keep saying it 13 times and set to 4. You feel me? So, just do that and you keep doing it over and over and watch it manifest into reality. Anything. You get anything you want. Don't just keep your mind in the box. Try to do something about a business, your own clothing line, anything. I told you I got a clothing line coming out called CP13. Think it's a joke. I already got ideas written out. Who gonna join your ideas? Me. I'm gonna do my own stuff. I ain't worried about no man. Plus, I ain't trying to cut nobody on the profit. Because nowadays, you can't depend on nobody. You have to help self. You feel me? Self-reliant, self-efficient. Laws of Mayat. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Be self-motivated. Don't ever look to nobody else for motivation. I know a lot of people probably come on my video and look for motivation. I ain't saying that's wrong, but I'm saying don't look at me like I'm a god or anything. I said I am a creator. Think about it. Look, just think about it. I'm going to just give you a hint. Like, I'm just using this term God for now. You know, they say God was a creator, right? So if God was a creator and we his children, don't that make us creators too? Probably not to his ability. I'm just saying, you know, for those so-called Christians and stuff. But we still creators though. Am I right or am I wrong? If God was a creator and we his children, aren't we creators too? My point exactly. That's why you shouldn't be worried about conspiracies and all this other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, they're going to blow up the Big Ben and all this other type of stuff and these false flags and all that. It's a false flag going out here in Chicago with all the killing. But people don't know that. People don't know that Chicago was a community-based community at one point in time. Real talk, yes. And plus, people don't know that Chicago and Atlanta is the two sisters. That's the two Mecca twin sisters. That's why Atlanta is so, what's the word I'm looking for? That's why Atlanta is so oppressed. I really don't want to say that word. Or that's why they always that's why all the bad stuff going on in Atlanta, that's why all the bad stuff going on in Chicago is because those are the two twin Mecca cities. Real talk. What everybody always looking to get their ideas from. Real talk. Chicago is a very beautiful place. But as it is today, it's not, I mean, it's still great. It's just the people. You know what I'm saying? If the people was to awaken, which I am doing now, trying to spread this message to awaken the people, because everybody not going to get awakened, that's just the truth, but everybody awaken and be trying to barter and trade with each other, we can build our community back up. Same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta is in the south, which really is in the north because the map is flipped upside down, all this other type of stuff. So you could really say Illinois, well, Chicago, whatever, you could really say it's in the south too, but that's something different. But they have a lot of nature in Atlanta. I mean, like, some people say they still have dirt roads out there. That's a perfect place to plant seeds. Out here, there's a lot of nature around here in Illinois, yes, but it's also a lot of devils that don't want you to be nature-based. They don't. That's why they got these little NATO summits and stuff out here, because they don't want Chicago to thrive, because Chicago, once it was thriving, they couldn't do anything to stop it. That's why when we had gangs, we still got gangs, but they don't have leaders and all that. It's all like scattered, you know, no type of leadership. But when we actually had the gangs, when they had leaders, that's why the government gave each, I don't want to say like I know exactly, but they guess what they gave like each leader, I think $1 million or something like that. And they put crack into the communities, because they put crack into the community. They need some type of way to destroy these Chicago-based thriving communities, because we was unstoppable. All that melon power, all that sharing, people actually caring about each other. That's what gangs were for, to help the community. But then that crack came involved to mess people's minds up. But what people don't know is that they thought crack was going to kill people off. It killed people, yes it do. But at the same time, if you look at statistics, say that the crack babies are leading in the like the highest like grades in school. Go look it up. Type it in. Crack baby statistics. No, not that. I can't even get the words out. Look up like crack baby grades in school, something like that. Like the statistics of that. The crack babies, they said, exceeding the Africans and Asians. It did something to their DNA and made an even better being. That's outsmarting all these other people, so they thought they were going to kill off these melanin rich people, but they didn't. Everything the government tried to do, how come it killed off people, so-called melanin rich people? How come it killed us off, but we still here today? You can't kill off those so-called gods. I'm just using that word. You can't kill off them creators. You know, like how they say them baby kids. You know, baby means more, right? But I bet you didn't know that. Thought you just thought they were just little nappy-head kids, huh? See, that's what, if people knew what they can do, I guarantee you this whole world will change today. If everybody knew what they can do, that's why we need to live off a nature-based community. People think I'm crazy or something. Oh, you want to live off nature? That's going to take too long to grow. See, you may never make it because you're talking about what's going to take so long and what's not. First things first, what's going to take longer is you getting yourself right. Don't worry about all that other stuff. The universe has its ways. Trust me. The universe has its ways. This place will be, I ain't going to say it will be a utopia, but a lot of people are waking up. Not fast enough, but a lot of people are waking up. And once people wake up, people are going to start going to that barter and trade system. You got eggs, I got bread. We can do a trade. You feel me? You got bread, I got pasta or something. You can do a trade. You feel me? You got gold, I got silver. We can do commerce, you know what I'm saying? Business. Barter. You know what I'm saying? People think it's a joke. Like, don't worry about conspiracies. Worry about getting yourself right. You know what I'm saying? Once you get yourself right, you can help your people, your family, and other people. I have myself right. I ain't gonna say I'm right to the 100% T, but I have 85% of myself right. So I can help people. But at the same time, I'm still going to help myself because I have to help myself before I can help anybody else. We already know that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So just every time you eat fruit or something, please save those seeds because you're going to need them. Like the brother in the 13th son said, that them 7 years of when all that bad stuff going to happen, them 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 signs, when you're going to start seeing all the madness on the planet, it been started. May what, 5th? It's already started. That's why things getting worse and worse and worse. But if you're on a good vibration, things getting better and better and better for you. People always going to hate. Let them do their job. People always going to talk smack. Let them do their job. People always going to stare at you. Let them do their job. People focus on you, they feed you energy. You focus on them, you feed them energy. Look, I told you, somebody give me bad energy, I take it, I manifest it to something positive for me. It's called being an energy vampire. I'm not an energy vampire, but I have mastered the ability of sucking somebody else's energy in and manifesting something positive for me. See, that's a different mind state. I've been doing this naturally. When I was even calcified, I even been saying that, like a psychic vampire, I've been doing that. Some things you just come back in your DNA, you know. You have to prepare your DNA whole, but some things, when you're born, you just know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in your DNA to know. So don't worry about conspiracies. Don't worry about conspiring against what. Just focus on yourself. But no, I ain't saying don't look at what they're doing. Be aware of what your enemy is doing. You always have to be aware of what the enemy is doing. But who said pay attention? It's a difference between being aware and paying attention. Like, check this out before I end this video. I can be staring at the camera like this, right? But on my peripheral, I see my plants on the windowsill. You see how I'm not paying attention to them, but I'm aware they're right there. I'm aware that the door is right there. You feel me? You get what I'm saying? I'm still aware that this camera is right here. I could be looking this way. I'm not paying attention, but on my peripheral, I see the camera. I'm not looking at it. I'm not paying attention to it, but I'm aware. Just like you. You not paying attention to your enemy, but you're aware of what he's doing. You're aware that he's trying to destroy your DNA. Get right, people. I'm saying love yourself, be yourself, and don't ever let nobody tell you you can do something. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do something. Because we are all co-creators because we coexist within the same reality. Now it's time for words of the day. Words of the day for today is, people always going to try to sway you away from the truth. But at the end of the day, the truth always going to reveal itself. Let me repeat that one more time if you ain't get it. People always going to try to sway you away from the truth. But at the end of the day, the truth always going to reveal itself. So if you don't get what I'm saying, you can say anything you want about me. You can say anything you want about anybody else. But at the end of the day, the truth is still going to remain the truth about that person. If it's in their destiny to be great like it is for me, you can call me whatever you want to. But at the end of the day, it's still in my destiny to be great. You feel me? Like somebody can say, I hate the sky, man. It ain't going to never rain. But at the end of the day, it's still going to rain. You feel me? Just because that person said they don't want it to rain, mean it's going to stop. Now, if they access their full ability to 100% of their brain, they can make it stop raining. But why would you want it to start raining? Rain makes things grow. So does the sun. So why you ain't growing? And before I really end this video, that's why they killed Bob Marley, Tupac, Biggie, because those all prophets that came back. Bruce Lee, who else? John Lennon, who else? Jimi Hendrix. That's why all these people, Pimp C, that's why all these people got killed, because they was prophets, came back. And they probably didn't even know it. But they was prophets that came back, especially Bob Marley. Heard the British government banned Bob Marley documentary on TV. Why is that? If he wasn't nothing special about this man, why they blocked his documentary? But I guess it's just a joke, huh? Love yourself, people.